everyone, this is Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make this shawl. I call it the cake shawl, and the reason I call it that is because when I designed this crochet pattern I wanted it to be used with any of the new number 4 weight yarn cakes. You can use Yarn Bee, you can use Sweet Roll, you can use Bernat Pop, you can use Karen Cakes, or any other of the cakes that you have. Now, you can even use any worsted weight number 4 yarn that you have on hand. It doesn't even have to be a yarn cake. I just had that in mind when I was designing this super easy shawl. Now you can find this pattern on my blog, and I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. So what you're going to need to make the cake shawl is 14 ounces of any worsted weight number 4, which is a medium weight yarn. These 4 cakes are number 4 yarns: Karen Cake, Sweet Roll, Bernat Pop, and Yarn Bee Sugar Will. Now there are more yarns than this out there that are worsted weight number 4. You could even use the Red Heart stripes. That would be beautiful for this pattern as well. Or you can make it all in a solid if you want to. The choice is yours. The original shawl that I designed was made out of Yarn Bee Sugar Will in the Jumping Jelly color. Now, each one of these has 7 ounces, and so you're basically going to need 2 Karen Cakes or 2 Yarn Bee or 2 if they have 7 ounces on them in order to make the shawl the size that I have made mine, which is 56 by 28 inches. And if you want to make it bigger, you certainly can, and it's super easy, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to be crocheting today with our eye hook, and the eye hook is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. You'll need a needle for weaving in those ends, and then you'll also need your scissors. We're going to begin stitching up our shawl at the back, and then we'll continue with rows back and forth, increasing every row until it's the length that we need it. All right, let's get started. We're going to begin with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 5 chains. We're going to join this 5 chains into a circle. We'll snug that down with that little stay knot. All right. Now we're going to begin forming the top of the shawl. We'll put our hook in, pull up a loop, and chain 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to place 2 more double crochets. We're going to chain 2, and then we'll stitch 3 double crochets. And we'll chain 3. That's our first row. For row 2, we're going to need a chain 4. We've only chained 3, so let's chain 1 more. And this chain 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 1. We're going to double crochet right in that same stitch. Then we'll chain 1. We're going to skip this next stitch and then double crochet in the next stitch and chain 1. Now, as we're working this shawl, we're going to have this chain 2 space that works all the way down the center of our shawl. And there's a couple of things that you can do to help you keep track of that corner. You can use a stitch marker of some kind and mark that corner as you go. But something that I like to do that works really good for me is just to take another piece of yarn and stick it in there. And then I can move it up as I do that chain 2 space every row. Alright, so for our row 2 here, we're going to put a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in that chain 2 space. Alright, let's go ahead and make our chain 1, and then you'll just take this piece of yarn that's a different color and stick it right in that chain 2 space. And as you work your shawl, it'll help you keep track of that corner. Alright, so we're going to stitch a double crochet right in this first double crochet on this side. Chain 1, skip that double crochet, and then in the last double crochet, which was our chain 3, there we go, we'll stitch a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And then we'll go ahead and chain 4. And that's the way that row 2 will look. Alright, let's do row 3. We've got our chain 4. We're going to turn our work and double crochet right in that first stitch. And remember, our chain 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 1, and then we double crocheted in the next stitch. Alright, so we're going to chain 1. We're going to double crochet in the double crochet. And we'll do this to the point. So, chain 1, double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the double crochet. And I think you can see how each row will increase because of how we're working it. You're going to get an extra stitch here, and then we'll double crochet in each double crochet, and now we're to that chain 2 space, so we're going to double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in the chain 2 space, and then chain 1. And then we'll take our yarn that we're using to mark our chain 2 space. And I know you can probably keep track of it, but it just helps just in case you get off. Alright, so now we chained 1, and we're going to repeat on this side what we did on this side. Double crochet in the first double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, and now we're to our last one, so we're going to double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And then we'll go ahead and make that chain 4. Alright, I think you can see by now that at the beginning of each row, or the end actually, we're chaining 4 for the next row. And also, I think you can see the pattern now, how it works. We're increasing by a double crochet at the beginning and at the end of each row. And then we're also increasing by double crochet, chain 2, double crochet that we're placing in that chain 2 space. Alright. So we've got our chain 4. We're going to double crochet in that first stitch, chain 1, double crochet, and of course we're going to do this in each of the stitches. Chain 1, double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the double crochet till we get to the corner or the point of our shawl. Chain 1. We're at our chain 2 space, so we're going to stitch a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in that chain 2 space, and then chain 1 and work our way back up. double crochet, chain 1, all the way back up. Whoops, there we go, got a little splitty on there. All right, last chain 1, and now we're to our chain 3 here. So we're double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And remember, chain 4. There's our 4th row. We'll take our piece of yarn and put it in there. And I move this out as I go, just moving it down to mark my point. And you can see the shape of the shawl. Let's do row 5. We've got our chain 4, double crochet in the same stitch, and chain 1. And then we'll place a double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, repeat till we get to the corner of our shawl. All right, we're to the point because here's my thread. And we'll stitch double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, chain 1. Then we'll just take our thread, poke it through so we know where the next one will be on the next row. And then we'll start right in that first double crochet, chain 1, and repeat up the other side. Whoops, and there we go. All right, we're to that last. Make sure you go in the chain 3, not the chain 4. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And then chain 4. And there's row 5. And I know by now you can see the shape of the shawl and how it's worked just popping right out at you. I think we're ready for row 6. We've got our chain 4, double crochet in the same stitch, and chain 1. Repeat all the way across. Now make sure you're putting your double crochets in your double crochets. If you're putting them in the spaces, you're putting them in the wrong spots. All our double crochets should line up. So we're double crocheting in the double crochet, chain 1, and repeat till we reach the point or the corner of our shawl. I'm at the corner, chain 1, and so now I'm going to stitch a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in that chain 2 space, and chain 1, and then repeat up the next side, double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, back up the side, I should say the other side, of my shawl. There we go. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the top of the chain 3, and then chain 4. And remember, you need to make sure you go in the chain 3, not the chain 4 of that last stitch, to stitch those 2 double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then chain 4. So there's our row 6. Let's do one more row together. We have our chain 4. We're going to double crochet in that same stitch and chain 1. Then we'll double crochet, chain 1 in each of the double crochets till we reach the corner or the point of our shawl. And again, remember, your double crochets are stitched in the double crochets, not the chain 1 spaces. All right, I'm in the last double crochet till I reach the point, chain 1. Now I'm at that point, and in the point we stitch a double crochet, chain 2, and double, whoops, that was just a chain 1, chain 2, and double crochet, and then chain 1. All the spaces on the sides are chain 1. The only one that's a chain 2 is the one that's in the point. All right, so we did our chain 1, then we'll double crochet in the double crochet, chain 1, repeat, back up this other side. Well, looks like I got a little snag I need to deal with there. I'll have to come back and take care of that. All right, I'm back up this side, and then we're going to place a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in that last chain 3, and then chain 4. All right, and this is how your row 7 should look. I'm going to move my string to that point. And you may not need your stitch marker after this. I use it just because it helps me to remember where that corner is. Like I said, it's totally up to you what works best for you. Now, this is the way the remainder of the shawl is worked. You're going to increase by 1 on each of the corners, and then you'll increase down here by one double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet in the chain 2 space each time. So you'll end up increasing by 4 double crochets every row. So it increases relatively quickly. and you'll continue this up through row 28 if you want it to be the size of mine. Each row is approximately an inch, and that can give you an idea of how big you want to make yours. So you'll do the same thing, increasing 4 double crochets each row, 1 on each end, and then double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the chain 2 space at the point, and you'll continue this up through row 28. I'm not going to be increasing any more on my demonstration. I'm going to show you how to finish it off with the trim just using this small demonstration piece. So once you have made your shawl the size that you want it, it's up to you again. Remember how big you want to make it. Instead of chaining 4, you're just going to chain 1, and we're going to do a row of just single crochet across the top of the shawl just to give it a nice finished look. And what I do is I try to place 2 single crochets in the end of each row, and I try to go in the stitches, not the hole. So I'll go right in the top of this stitch, I should say the side of that stitch, stitch a single crochet, and they're double crochet stitches, so I try to stitch 2 double crochets the end of each row, and that seems to give it a nice even row of single crochets. There is no set stitch number on this. When you evenly crochet, you try to get them close but not too bunchy, and you don't want to leave any space, so it's going to be all by how you eyeball it. Alrighty, so there isn't any, like I said, isn't any stitch count on this. It's just what you think looks best for the top of your shawl. So you would just single crochet across the top, working from one side to the other, stitching single crochets. Now, a little note, when you get back where there's this little circle, I just put a single crochet right in that circle and just keep right on going. And that seems to make it lay nice and flat. Alright, so we'll just single crochet across till we get to the other side of our shawl. Once you have single crocheted across the top of your shawl, we're going to be working down the sides, and I'm going to show you how to make this simple yet elegant trim for your shawl. What we'll do is we'll chain 5. We'll skip the next chain 1 space and stitch a single crochet in the next chain 1 space and chain 5. We'll skip the next chain 1 space and stitch a single crochet in the next chain 1 space and chain 5. And we will continue this working all the way around the edge of our shawl. All the way around and then all the way back up to the back to this corner of your shawl. Don't go across the top, just to the corner. Once you've reached that corner, we're going to join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch and chain 5. All right, we're going to turn our work, and now we're going to be stitching in these chain 5 spaces. So we chained 5, we'll stitch a single crochet right in that chain 5 space and chain 5. We'll stitch a single crochet right in that next chain 5 space and chain 5. And we'll continue this all the way around the bottom edge of our shawl. We won't go across the top, just the bottom. Chain 5, single crochet in the chain 5 space. And we'll continue this all the way around, and then we'll join and tie off, and our shawl will be done. Once you have completed that last row, chain 5, single crochet in the chain 5 space. In that last chain 5 space, then we chain 5 and we join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch. Tie off and weave in your end. And that's how easy it is to make the cake shawl. With all the different cakes of yarn out there, or even all the worsted weight yarns out there, the possibilities are endless, and you can make one of these in every color to go with every outfit. They also make great Christmas gifts or birthday gifts.